Yeah.
Baby mama terrorist. BMT. It's my baby mama. I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in coke. It's my baby mama. She be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies and doing setups. It's my baby mama. I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in coke. It's my baby mama. She be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies and doing setups. It's my baby mama. I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in coke. It's my baby mama. She be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies and doing setups. It's my baby mama. I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in coke. It's my baby mama. She be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies and doing setups.
Riding around, try to play the role as innocent with an evil soul. In public, wearing fake hellos. Behind closed doors, she rock them horns. I moved on, she wanna teach me a lesson. Can't see my kids, man, I'm stressing. Couldn't see my son to give me his present. She got married to teach me a lesson. Telling people she did nothing wrong. Knowing that well since I moved on. Thought that money would keep me home. Hell no, bitch, I'm gone. I don't know what you lost your mind. Try to say my name, but I know your kind. Saying I'm a deadbeat, bitch, you lying. Fighting in court, man, I'm trying to be a father to my kids. She focus on the wrong shit, worried about another being instead of us co-parenting. Put my kids in grown folks' business, telling them lies, bitch, you wicked. Split personality, oh yeah, you twisted. Never thought I'd go through this.
It's my baby mama. I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in cold. It's my baby mama, she be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies and doing setups. It's my baby mama, I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in cold. It's my baby mama, she be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies and doing setups. It's my baby mama, I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in cold. It's my baby mama, she be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies and doing setups. It's my baby mama, I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in cold. It's my baby mama, she be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies and doing setups.
All stand, please. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. This honorable court now stands adjourned, sine die. God save the state and this honorable court.
Yeah. You made me seat up in this motherfucker. Hey, shout out to the Bay Mama Terrorist Bounty Hunters. I'm your host, Mr. Palmer. And what we're going to talk about today, once again, you know how it goes, these family courts, these Bay Mama terrorists. We're going to talk to a brother, white brother that is. He's from Illinois. I've been knowing him for like going on 5 years now. He ran for governor. He ended up moving out of state to the South to change his livelihood due to the bullshit the family court was doing. So he's into politics. He's a father's rights activist. He's also an alienated father. And he's been fighting tooth and nail for many years. He served his country, I believe, in the Navy. And he served his damn country, you know, fighting the wars and everything else. But there's one war he's been fighting for a very long time. And that's family court. With the gender bias system that they cause against us as men, we can't even be fathers. Hell, some of us can't even be visitors, get every other weekend. Why? Because we alienated. Why? Because it's more money in the collection plate, that $51 billion. Why? Because of the baby mama terrorists. Why? Because of feminism. Why? Because of society standards that keep the man out the picture and set our children up for failure. And he's one of the brothers that I told y'all from Facebook, like Chris Cole, who told me what was really going on when it came about family court, child support, and so on, that this was a man's situation. And that's why I told y'all when I came over here, even when it was always on Instagram, they don't give a damn what color you is going up in that child support and that family court court. They do not care. They don't care about your color. They don't care about you serving the military. They don't care about you work for the government. They don't care about you even being a judge. If you go up in there on going on child support and divorce shit like that, you getting set up for failure 9 times out of 10, most likely. Why you think only 17.5% men in this nation only get custody of our kids? But then they sit back and say, why are kids shooting up schools? Why is our kids shooting up in the streets? Why are kids fucking up the community? Look who raised them. These feminist baby mama terrorists who choose to be single mothers. Yes, they do. They really do. And he's been going through a lot of shit. And he still fights. So without further ado, I got to bring my brother in. Illinois native, Kash Jackson. What's going on, brother?
What's up, my brother? How you doing, man?
Hey, I'm good, brother. How's everything going with you?
Hey, look, I could complain, but who would care?
Right. You got that right. So, shout out to everybody that's up in here from on the YouTube and the Facebook. I got Facebook and YouTube on here. Would y'all please like and please share the page? Definitely got to get them likes up. Y'all know the donations right on the bottom left or the super chat. We're going to definitely talk and dialogue. Kash, people on YouTube, everybody's not on Facebook, so let them know who you are.
Well, my name is Kash Jackson. I'm a retired Navy veteran. I'm the founder of the Veteran Liberty Network. And we have our first post, much like an American Legion or an AMVETS post, down in my town of Paris, Arkansas. And so I'm right on the corner there in the square. We've got our first physical location that we're building out. And what we hope to do is to integrate veterans and capitalize the skill sets that veterans obtain while in the course of service and even post-service. We'd like to go ahead and capitalize on those skill sets and expand on those skill sets in doing media and doing journalism and having another opportunity to defend the Constitution, except this time against the domestic enemies that are creating the policies and running, running America into the ground by driving parents out of the lives of their children. So we want to put a stop to it is essentially what I'm saying. And how do you best do that without getting a bullet put between your eyes? Because we know full well they would love nothing more than for me, the crazed lunatic veteran, right, that they've alleged all of these really horrible things about. They want us to do that. They want us to use violence, right? Because they have labeled us as being toxic males in this society. And frankly speaking, this is what scares them absolutely the most, Mr. Palmer, is men like you and I mean, look at us. We arguably come from two different communities. I come from the rural white South. You come from the inner city of Chicago. I did retire up in Illinois out of the military, and did run for governor up there. But born and raised in the South, conservative Christian white South, if you will. And here we have you and I facing the exact same problem, which has been destroying our lives. And what they're witnessing is they're witnessing us with social media. They cannot stop what we're doing. That's the beauty of this, right? That's the beauty of the First Amendment. You can't stop it. You cannot dam up with as many gag orders as you want to put in place, as oftentimes as you want to withhold people's children as they speak out against these courts and as they express their anger and their outrage and their anguish, right? And that's what this is really born out of, okay? The anger and the visceral nature with which we come at this, where you say fuck child support, man, I've said it 1,000 times over. And you know what's funny, Mr. Palmer, is here lately how many women I'm encountering. It's not funny, mind you, but how many women that, I think now more women are figuring out I'm not as anti-woman as they thought, and more women are gravitating to me to have these conversations,
of course,
about these issues. And but again, that's the expanse at which the state and the state overreach is taking place. Is that we have conversations between a white father and a black father. I have conversations with black mothers and Asian men, and the demographics are so wide and so spread now that the state has done a magnificent job in building an entire populace of people that hate their guts. They absolutely hate them. They cannot stand them. That is the demographic that you and I find ourselves in, because we wouldn't express ourselves the way that we do if we had a lot of love for the government and the state and how it's operating. You wouldn't be sporting a hat and running a brand of child support. But there's a brand there. There's a market there. It's bullshit. We all know this bullshit. When you call them up and you got to deal with these people on the other end of the line and they treat you like you're a criminal, when they're indifferent to your plight, when they're indifferent to your struggle as a man, a father, a parent, a fucking human being, for God's sake, they don't care if you're homeless. They don't care if they take all of your taxes. They don't care. They're so unempathetic. It's some of the most frustrating, nonsense we could ever have the displeasure of dealing with. But it should be very alarming. And I think to men like you and I, it has been alarming, and that's why we are coming together to do what you're doing right now. And I appreciate very much.
No doubt. And that's what I say, as I start learning the laws and learning how child support and family court really is. It's not about the best interest of the child. It's not about what's right. It's not about the most best fit. It's about the most benefit, which is gummy daddy. So I believe me, I know, me saying fuck child support, that's a controversial slang, but a lot of people starting to say it. A lot of people starting to understand what it's saying. Not the majority, because the majority is siding with gummy daddy. But a lot of us is starting to see what I mean when I say fuck child support. That's the foundation of all this shit and why it's going on. Money, politics, and power. So yeah, Now, I had told him that, like I say, you've been in the military, you served your country, served this country, and you fighting a war out there, but you fighting a bigger war in family court. So how long you been dealing with these court systems, family court, going back and forth, trying to just get some type of visitation? If not, you could pay at the time.
7 years. 7 years of nonsensical bullshit in Lake County, Illinois. I mean, if there's ever been a case to be made for how jacked up these systems are and why we need to rid ourselves of the entirety of it, like people think we need to reform it. And I was a reformist. I was a reformer. Let's reform. No, we need to abolish.
Exactly.
We need to get rid of the entirety of family court, because once you have now built yourself a solidified economic political model with which to exercise a very Marxist, communist, even fascist ideology, you can make the same argument here, which is like, I mean, I love the fact that we can have this conversation, Larnell, and what they cannot argue is that men like us, parents like us, we see the system for what it is. And I don't care what label you want to affix it, okay? I got a thing of markers over here. Maybe this is a bad example, I don't know, okay?
Right.
I don't care if you call this system blue, red, gray, yellow. The identifying characteristics remain the exact same, okay? And it maintains the same form and function as the other. It doesn't matter that they look slightly different. Fascism and communism, while having its differences, it is the overwhelming commonalities that we have to be focused on. You could argue that here in Arkansas, because it's more red, that it would be more fascist political style, vice Illinois, where it's a blue state.
Blue.
You could argue it's more communist style there. Okay.
Right.
But the fact remains the same. It's extremely authoritarian. It is state overreach, and it is social engineering. And this social engineering that is ongoing is, in fact, taking parents like myself. I mean, that's kind of one reason I stood up and I'm like, hey, look, I think we should all talk about this. Okay. I'm active duty military at the time. I do the right thing. I think I say, hey, I think there's a problem down here at this courthouse. The way that they're doing business, I don't think that this is correct. I mean, there's no cameras in there. There's no audio recording equipment. So right there, somebody with a security background that I had held a top secret clearance in the United States military, did TSSCI work, very familiar with having security measures and security protocols, right? Far more so than your Lake County, probably sheriff's department and your local court security, okay? And so it beckons the question then, whenever you enter into an area that is supposed to be a public courtroom, there's no cameras in there. There's no audio recording equipment. Yet they've got all of these notices attached to all of the doors through the entire courthouse in Lake County, that the courthouse is underneath COVID measures, and it says all court hearings will be via Zoom. Okay, all but Kash Jackson's. All but that middle-aged. Now, mind you, my last day in there, they brought in a middle-aged, white woman in there. Your identifiable full custody soccer mom, if you will. If you want to stereotype somebody, this is your middle-class white suburbia soccer mom that had full custody. The crazy part is what we watched transpire. Okay, it was something like I've never seen, and I'll say, and this was over child support. So this is where you had a custodial parent who had full custody, who was receiving child support up there in Lake County, right? Her court case was in courtroom 101. I was down in 102. She was sitting outside courtroom 102 whenever we showed up that morning. Myself, my attorney Ted Bush, and my VP at Veteran Liberty Network, CJ Abernathy, who was there to act as a journalist, on behalf of Veteran Liberty Network. Okay. And so when we get outside courtroom 102, where my court case is, I'm doing a live stream, and there's a lady sitting out there, and she begins talking to me, and right away I can tell she's upset. Lo and behold, she's there to get shaken down in courtroom 101. And what's going on in courtroom 101? Well, CJ and Ted Bush go on down there while I continued live streaming outside courtroom 102 in the hallway, big empty hallway. Okay, the hallway's empty, no one in there, and they've got cameras up in the overhead, right? And this is the same location where the police just a day or two before, the sheriff's in there, had surrounded me. We had what? I mean, I don't know if you saw the live feed. I mean, there was.
I was on there. I was on there when you
did
majority of your lives going to court.
3 or 4 of them, right? And this is what everybody needs to be watching. Okay, this is the stuff that people should be watching and paying attention to. The concerted effort to prevent transparency. That's got to raise the red flag for all of us. That's got to be the alarm. Okay, you didn't see it. You weren't present. Okay, you've not been participating in these things. But when somebody is telling you this, I'm not a criminal, right? I'm not a drug addict. Okay.
Right.
I'm a retired Navy veteran.
Right.
That's it. I'm a whistleblower. I'm the founder of a nonprofit. Okay. If they're doing this to me, they're certainly doing it to every other demographic out there. I would be, by all stereotypes, the demographic that would be protected within our system if, in fact, and this is a couple of points that we argue, and we can have different discussions on this, the argument of white supremacy and the argument of white privilege. If those things are, in fact, in some merit of truth, then why then do we have millions of white fathers experiencing the exact same thing as millions of black fathers? Right? Wait a minute.
Tremendous numbers. Hold on, say that again. Wait, I want you to say that part again. You said how many millions of white men? You said when it come to white men,
millions of white fathers and millions of black fathers.
Okay, yeah. And the reason why I said it because you got a lot of fake ass queens out here, baby mama tears, that sit back and say that only black men go through this and only white black men whine about it and cry about it. White men don't complain about it. White men don't have an issue with it, and white men don't go through it. They alpha male. They don't go through it. And I told them, I said, who you think started Father's Rights movement? So I'm just asking.
Thomas Fiddler. My friend Thomas Fiddler. Middle-aged, balding white man started the Father's Rights movement. Okay. Mark Ludwig, middle-class, white suburbia, nicest, most easygoing, gentle guy you could meet on the planet. Nicest guy you can meet on the planet. I mean, he's just as easygoing as he can possibly be.
Yeah, we friends on Facebook.
Experience the same thing. Okay. I know white doctors there in Illinois experiencing the same thing. I know white nurses in Illinois experiencing the same thing. I know every race, sex, and economic class experiencing the same thing. Okay? But statistically, what you say and what I say is correct, that the majority and with the macro data that we have, not to say that it's not shifting, it is shifting. I would agree. They know women are in the workforce, women are making money, and as you stated earlier, this is about making money. Okay? It's about a profit-driven system. They don't care who they eat. They don't care if it's a white suburban soccer mom, an inner city black father, a rich Asian man in California. It doesn't matter. They don't care. If they decide you're the one, you're the one.
Right.
And when you got the mark on you, whatever that mark is, they're going to extract every resource humanly possible from you while violating your basic human and due process rights. The fact that we're not outraged about this more as a nation is perplexing to me as a human being. That we can legitimately, I sat up there in Illinois for a week, Mr. Palmer, a week. Haven't seen my children in 3 years. Did these feminists sitting in there on that court offer me 1 second with my children? Did they say, hey, let's just bring these kids in here and let's start hashing some of this out right now together? We got the judges, we got the attorneys, we got the mom, we got the dad, we got everybody here. We got the psychiatrist. Let's just sit down and talk it out. Let's figure this out. 3 years, dude. 3 years I haven't seen my children, and they act, it's like no big deal. Let's just take another day, another day, another day. Make this man drive 13 hours, made me drive 13 hours up there under COVID measures All hearings are via Zoom. There's a YouTube public service announcement. Mind you, I redid it for them. And so if you want to see that, you can probably go over to Kash Jackson there on YouTube and find it. But I took the liberty of redoing, me and Ted did, their, you know, he gave me some helpful hints, right, on my creativity. And I'm not the most creative guy in the world, right? But we have been very creative in combating this. We are making headway.
Oh, yes.
You're making headway because this is the First Amendment that is steamrolling, that they're trying to stop by making an example out of me. They're using this right here, just like they did with Chris Cole. They will use this interview with you. They will use this in our criticism, our collective criticism of government bureaucracy to justify the withholding of our children. They will say that we're lunatics. Of course we're lunatics. Of course we are, because we don't subscribe to an ideology that equality shouldn't be what's transpiring in our courts, because we don't subscribe to the ideology that we want to pay our former spouse or former girlfriend or former fiance or whatever they mean. We don't want to pay them to do the job God or nature ordained you and I to do. Nature to protect and to provide. We will provide, we will protect. We need the states out of the way.
Right. So now, like you said, you drove 13 hours all the way to Illinois. You was here for a full week. But I want to kind of go back before you got to all this. When you first went to court, and you know, of course, you I believe you was getting divorced, and you was hoping for, I guess, equal pay at the time, or visitation. I don't know if you was in the military still then, because sometimes that, you know, saying caused it to be equal every other weekend or whatever. How did you feel serving this country, and for them to basically alienate you from your children? How did you feel?
It's a betrayal. Simply an outright betrayal by the country. The largest naval training center in the United States is in Lake County, Illinois. That was where I retired from. That was my last command. Excuse me. That was my last. It's a little confusing. Okay. I was stationed in Washington State. Okay. 2012, the summer of 2012, the military sent me from Great Lakes, Illinois, where I was a recruit division commander, otherwise known as a drill instructor, there at Great Lakes Naval Station. Okay. The quarterdeck of the United States Navy. Not only was I stationed there from 2009 to 2012 as a drill instructor, a RDC, okay, is what we are known by. We wear a red agulette, a red rope on our left shoulder. Okay, so if you see sailors up there in Illinois, and it's common in the Chicagoland region, and you see them with a red rope on their shoulder, a solid red rope, that means that they are a recruit division commander stationed at Great Lakes Naval Station. If it's a solid red one, right? Mm-hmm. But I also trained the future drill instructors. I was screened and selected to train the future drill instructors for 12 months. So whenever you're a company commander up there, and I think it's similar with the other branches, your first basically 12 months of your 3-year tour, your first year there, you'll push like 5 divisions, okay? And they're 2 months, they're about 2 months each, 2.5 months a pop, depending on when they show up, holidays, things like that, okay? On average, 88 teenagers or young men and women that show up, 17 to 21 years old. Okay, mind-blowing that I'm entrusted for 3 years, and I train thousands of future leaders in the United States Navy. I train them to be not only the young demographic, but I also train seasoned sailors when they come in to be new drill instructors. Mm-hmm. Right?
Right.
I've had a top secret clearance. I was a reserve sheriff's deputy in Lake County, Illinois. I've basically got a bachelor's in criminal justice. I'm a few classes short.
I understand.
I don't have any criminal history. So for these things to perpetuate themselves against a person like me, we have to break down and have some common sense conversations about how is this so? Why is this happening? This doesn't sound like it could happen to somebody like you. You're right. Thank you for stating that. It doesn't seem that way, which is why I'm telling you I'm a whistleblower, and I'm telling you it is that way, and we all need to take a stand against this very tyrannical system, right? It is imprisoning and shaking down citizens into debtors' prisons. Same system that released the judges from Pennsylvania that sold children to the for-profit detention facility for millions of dollars in the state of Pennsylvania. These clowns get put in a federal penitentiary in Florida, and guess what? COVID hits, and the review board determines that these old judges are high risk for COVID, so they let them out of prison. They legitimately trafficked American children. They legitimately sold American children for money and put them in prisons. They put them in boxes. They stole people's children for money, and they let them walk. And they take men like you and I, and they'll use the long arm of the law to run us down, just like they did Walter Scott down there in South Carolina, and shoot you in the back. They would shoot me in the back, and that's part of the problem with the advertising and the "it don't happen to men like me" bullshit. Look how many white people were shot last year by cops. Don't tell me it don't happen to whites. It happens to lots of whites for something very similar. Police officers know that their largest problem, or where they're going to have the most conflict, is a domestic call. The deadliest call for a police officer to respond to, bar none, is a domestic call. And how many of these domestic calls do they get every single solitary year? How many reports does your county, Cook County, get? I would challenge you or anyone else to submit a Freedom of Information Act request and find out just how many phone calls they get around Father's Day. Ask them.
Oh yeah. But you know, a lot of them domestic violence be lies, because that's the first thing they do to set a man up for failure, either domestic violence or sexual harassment or some type of sexual assault. So it's one or the other. It's one or the other.
It's good that you say that. Okay. Here's the thing. Who trains? We should be asking ourselves, who trains the police departments? Who trains the sheriff's departments? Who gives the continuing education classes to guardian ad litems, as well as other attorneys and the judiciary? Who is training them? And we should be seeing the development of that training and what they are incorporating into that training, so that we know what type of mindset that they are coming from and why. Right? Exactly. They should be transparent about that and open that up to us. We should demand that from them, because we need to know the demographics that they are targeting and why they're targeting. Make no mistake about it. They are targeting us. They are infringing upon parental rights for a reason, and it's more than just receiving federal funding. I believe that it's far more sinister than that.
Yeah, it's definitely more than that. You know, when you got sex traffickers, like you say, you put them in the water of the state, that's more money. Then you could lure them out there to be sex trafficked and missing for forever and ever and ever. Also, it's about politics and power to keep them in office as well. It's also about that $51 billion business bill. I want to give a shout out to Face Facts $4.99 donation. He said they will even put a man on child support, or put men on child support that have primary custody. Yes, they will, 100%. You can have equal custody, equal parenting, and they still put you on child support. I be trying to tell these dumb baby mama terrorists that they talking about you get equal parenting, you don't get on child support. It depends on the state, and most of them still put you on child support if you make more. It's a money game. I want to give a shout out to Julius Mays. He's also a Navy veteran. $5 donation, bruh. Seems like you get done the worst when you're in the military. Yeah, it do seem like, especially you overseas out of the country. Shout out Julius Mays. I want to give a shout out to Sergeant Tyson. He's he's still in the military. He's in New York. $2 donation. He said, salute to my veterans. Shout out to my grandma, baby mama terrorist. Yeah, she's a grandma, baby mama terrorist. Yeah, shout out to you, my brother. Yes. Yeah, because that grandma terrorist get child support and she get money from him and don't give the baby mama terrorist nothing. You can't make this shit up, man. He find a war too.
Right. You can't.
You can't. But now I want to go. I want to go to the current. You came back and you, like you said, you ain't seen your kids over 1,000 days now, and you came
1,000 days.
1,000 days. That's why I changed that saying you was holding. Before it was 800 and some days, and it was 600 some days with your son. And I took what you had and I edited it because I'm like, let's up to date this because you've been on here when I first started on YouTube.
Yeah.
The 7 days you going to court in Lake County, I want you to give them what you can to let them know how much bullshit that was going on when it came to you fighting and exposing the mother of lying to the T. Admitted it, but guess what? They didn't give a fuck. So I want you to let them know. Let them know.
Nope.
They say you don't have them problems.
Let me tell you, I spent, let's see, I went up there, what? It was June 25th, 26th. Was that right?
Yeah, it was about that time. When did the beginning? It wasn't the beginning of July.
July. I'm sorry, July.
July.
June,
yeah.
I was in DC. Yeah, June I was in DC.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, forgive me. I've made a lot of trips. I was in Washington DC, then I was in Louisiana, and then Illinois. So I had a bunch of trips there, all stacked on top of one another. Suffice to say, I spent about 1 week in Illinois. I was ordered to come and appear in court. Why was I ordered to come and appear in court? Well,
everybody else doing Zoom.
I was not permitted to Zoom in because yeah, everybody's doing Zoom, right? Why can't Kash Jackson do a Zoom? Right? Simple question. Why can't the veteran Zoom in 13 hours away? Reasonable request. Let me tell you, because I exercise my First Amendment right as an independent journalist to stream, mind you, stream. These idiots don't know. They don't know a damn thing about social media. I'm here to tell you, they don't know shit. They don't know a goddamn thing. Excuse my language. They don't know anything about social media and how it functions and how it works. All that they know is that they can use this as a gigantic Fourth Amendment search and seizure of you to conduct some sort of quasi-criminal investigation against you. And this is what they did to me, right? My ex-wife, Julia Patton, and her brother, Stephen Patton, out of Tennessee. So if anybody knows Stephen Patton, big overweight, redheaded white dude, okay, real geeky, okay, down in Tennessee, that's her brother, right? They spent a significant amount of time tracking my social media, okay? One, I believe that it's stalking. I've requested that they don't do it previously in the past. Before I did all of this, before I went into journalism, long before I did all of that, before I was doing any of this, okay, and I was just being Kash Jack, just me on social media, I had requested that, would you please stop stalking me? Would you please stop following all of my social media if it bothers you so much?
Right.
Okay?
I don't get it either.
Now, this is what's perplexing. Here's what's perplexing. Let me tell you, Barnell, what this is getting down to. All of the evidence that they submitted and entered and was allowed into the formal record. Okay, you guys will be able to go and pull this up. I would encourage anybody to do so. Pull it up, and as it's entered into the formal record, okay, and you have the access that you need. I don't believe just any person can just. You got to go a layer or two deeper than what the average person has access to, which normally requires some sort of attorney access to, court records, right? But you can get it.
Right.
Print it out and see what they put in there. It's my criticisms of the courts. It's my criticisms of the judges and the attorneys and the entire bureaucracy at large, much like Chris Cole. But even if I have some sort of open criticism about my ex-wife, I'm sorry, factually, I can say to you, ma'am, to my ex-wife, Julia, I don't believe that it's very Christian to not allow our children to see their father for 3 years. I'm sorry. I believe that you have overstepped. I believe that you have overstepped your own biblical teachings that you believe far more strongly about than what I do. I am not a devout church-going Christian man, but I am a human being, and I understand basic human respect and decency. And I would never, in a million years, withhold. I don't need a religion to compel me to not withhold a child from another fit parent for years at a time. And that is, in fact, what this court made its intent and its focus on, is the expression of the First Amendment right peacefully, just like your hat right now. Mm-hmm. Your hat is a perfect representation and embodiment, in my opinion. It embodies what a veteran serves for. Okay, what is sitting on your head right now and streaming this into a live audience for people to observe this interaction for me to say I am a veteran, okay, and I formed the Veteran Liberty Network with my friends, okay, to express this thing peacefully the way that you and I are doing. They don't have to like our speech, but by God, they got to respect it because the First Amendment demands that they do.
So you telling me, which you know I already know, you basically being punished for telling the truth on social media and to the public, because you also do public speaking. That's why you travel nationwide telling the truth when it comes to this court system and gender bias. And they want to get rid of masculinity as well. So basically your punishment was, well, you putting all these posts out about us and not talking about the kids, talking about us, meaning the government, family court. I feel that you're abusing your children. So therefore, you shouldn't have custody or you shouldn't have no visitation because you're abusing them talking about us. What kind of bullshit is that?
They are without any sort of a finding. Okay, so in the state of Illinois, you cannot interject into any sort of a civil court that way. And if it's happening to anybody, even in your own state, I want you to take a look at this. Okay, they will try and interject themselves into your private medical information and that of your child, right? That's bullshit. Okay, it's bullshit and it's state overreach. And if they're doing it and you're allowing them to do it, you got to put your foot down. You got to stand up for yourself and say no more. And you're absolutely correct. To get direct and to the point, they are withholding our children for the expression of our First Amendment right. End of story. Boom. They are withholding our children, Mr. Palmer. They are punishing us using a quasi-criminal penalty of deprivation of rights under color of law to punish us for this. Because we're animated, we're outspoken, we know it's bullshit, we're masculine enough to say, F you, we're not going to take it, F the system, child support, screw it, okay? And as a veteran, I can say it as well. I can say, fuck you, I don't consent, I don't agree, and because I say those words, it doesn't make me a dangerous person. It doesn't make me bad, right? If I'm bad or you're bad because of our language, our First Amendment right, then by God, you best get to season children from Dave Chappelle, from Mr. Hart, from The Rock, from Tammy Duckworth, from all of these Democrats and Republicans that have foul mouths on them. Okay, you better start seasoning their kids too. You better start seasoning all of their kids too. No, we're not going to do that, are we? You're going to try and silence those of us that you've got hidden in your secret courts, right? Your star chambers.
Right. I want to give a shout out to Face Facts once again for the $4.99 donation. He said perjury is not allowed; it's encouraged if it keeps custody from the father. Yeah, 100% facts. Yeah, they allow that shit. Want to give a shout out to Space Kitchen Podcast for $5 donation. He says great discussion, fellas. Salute. Also, was it one more? Once again we got Sergeant Tyson for the $5 donation. He said when I was in Iraq, August of 2010. 2 Marines committed suicide due to their wives selling their house, clean out the accounts, and disappear. Wow. Sorry to hear that, bro. Wow.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Let me chime on that for a second, if I may. Okay. Right. Let me chew that bone for a moment. For just a moment, please. I was in Oklahoma. Went over there with Chris Cole. First time I met Chris Cole, he says, Kash Jackson, I want to spend some time with you. Okay, I'm driving over to come see you. Let's go do something. Fine, Chris Cole. I'm already en route. I'm going to Oklahoma. You're more than welcome to tag along. Okay, Chris Cole gets in the car. So he drives all the way from North Carolina. He drives all night, gets to me. Okay, we rest a few hours. He got there in the wee hours of the morning. He didn't get no sleep. Get in the car, and we head over to Oklahoma outside a Trump rally. Outside this Trump rally, I'm in my uniform. And I get up on a wall. We got a speaker and a microphone. Get up on that wall, and I just start talking about this. That's it. Had a young soldier, right? He was in civilian clothes. He stops there, and I'm talking about this. I'm talking about 22 veterans a day. Right? I'm talking about I've lost more than 10 friends to suicide. I'm talking about I've had a front row seat to wanting to kill myself. Okay, to trying to. I've been there. I've been down that route, and it takes you there. It destroys you in such a way. It takes you there. And the military does not take account for the fact, they refuse to take account for the fact that, yes, while our children and our families did not come inside our sea bags, We cannot disconnect our humanity and our connection to our loved ones. We cannot turn that switch off. We cannot disconnect that. We are not sociopaths, and you cannot make us be sociopaths. We love our kids. We love our families. And when all of that crumbles and falls apart and we're out serving this country, we feel betrayed. We feel like, if my country's not going to take care of me while I'm doing this, then what the am I even out here for? Right?
Exactly.
And what are you? And that's a fair question. Why are you out there? Why are you out there guarding poppy fields? Why are you out there guarding oil fields? Right? Why are you not defending the Constitution here at home against the domestic enemies? And right now, that's what we're doing, right? We are weaponizing ourselves with the First Amendment, right? Veteran Liberty Network is standing itself up, right? It's connecting to people like you. I'm not ashamed. I know there's a lot of people, they're going to go, I don't want to associate with the likes of Mr. Palmer, right? Because of his branding style, because of his messaging style. Not adult or mature enough to listen to the message, to understand the message, to find out what's truly driving, right? Your platform and why you do it the way that you do, right? Your platform's needed, right? And my platform is needed to fight for that First Amendment, and to do it together is what makes us strong. That way, that's what makes us something that they cannot destroy. They can't beat what we got, Mr. Palmer.
Well, you already know I don't give a fuck what they think. So, I mean, I had plenty of people that reached out to me when I was on Facebook telling me, yeah, I want to work with you, but you got to change your name. And I told them, hell no. So I get it. So I'm like, no, not at all. But what I want to ask,
but this is the thing. I'll keep going. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Let them know.
I get amped up on that First Amendment. No, I get amped up on that First Amendment, man, because it's the expression of the speech. Okay, it's first for a reason, and it ain't just the speech. It's the press. Okay, it's the press. You are the press, Mr. Palmer. You're the press. You are taking information from here. You are digesting that information. You are uncovering the facts and the truths of the circumstances, and you yourself are taking that, just like in this setting right here, and you are then delivering that information, disseminating it out to a crowd of people so that maybe they can better understand it. Maybe they're going to relate to you far better than they're going to relate to me, and more receptive of your message than they are of mine. And your platform is equally, if not more, needed than even my own. We need these so much back and forth. And if we don't fight for that First Amendment, to express it, to use that journalism, right, to use the First Amendment right, this is my religion. My religion is fighting tyrants.
Now, speaking of tyrants, that's what I want to ask you. All this alienation and trying to set you up for failure, is this over a failed divorce? Because usually when I talk about these baby mama tears, usually when they run to these courts with child support and alienation, it's usually because of a failed relationship or failed divorce. Which one is it?
For mine?
Yeah, for you. Oh, mine's failed relationship. I tell everybody, man, I wouldn't be going through all this. I wouldn't have went through the bullshit if it wasn't no breakup.
Yeah, I mean, it was a failed marriage. I mean, that was it. I mean, we were separated for 2 years. She remained in Illinois. I mean, I was getting used, dude. I was paying the $2,500 mortgage. I was paying $500 a month to her student loan. I was paying all the utilities on the house. She's making $100,000 a year, putting her money in a separate bank account I got no access to. That happened for 2 years. I slept on people's couches and in their spare bedrooms for two full years. Two full years before I filed for divorce. Before. Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. You filed.
Yeah, I filed.
And you still got the short end of the stick?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The filer thing, that's nonsense. The whole filer thing, that's bullshit.
The
filer thing gets it good? No.
You've been had. You've been duped.
You've been duped.
Oh,
if you believe that, you've been duped.
You telling me that y'all were separated and you were still paying the mortgage, you were still paying a student loan, and she make $100,000. She was saving her money, put in an account that you can't even get into.
And that don't matter at all in these courts.
No, it don't. And I want y'all to hear this, y'all, because I'm tired of these fake baby mama tears, feminist queens that sit back and say, oh, Brian don't have no problems. Chad don't have no problems. White men don't have nothing to say. They alpha males. They don't go through this. They don't complain about child support. See,
Oh, they
that's
say you're beta. They say you're a beta because you're complaining about it.
yeah, I'm a beta. Yeah, I'm a big ass beta then.
So they're going to emasculate you. They're going to emasculate you and say because you don't accept the status quo, they're going to emasculate you and say because Mr. Palmer doesn't agree with the status quo, okay,
right.
That let's just take for a moment there, okay, whatever demographic, I don't care, men, women, there's a large demographic of men that believe, and I've heard plenty of men, the white knights out there, they go, just pay your child support and shut up. No, you shut your mouth. You shut your mouth because you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know one goddamn thing about the federal financial incentives. If you can't tell me, okay, anything about the requirements from the state and the state's requirements to establish parentage, okay, what their collection rate looks like, what their federal financial incentive reimbursement rate looks like. If you can't go and look at that and have a full discussion on these things and how the states have this large financial umbrella to prop up a larger bureaucratic government on the backs of our children, if you don't know a damn thing about that, you got no room to be at this table other than to ask some questions.
And again, y'all, this is why I tell y'all, no matter how bad these baby mama tears, black queens, I told y'all the Alcans are the worst baby mama tears on the planet. Because I be goddamn, this man served this country. He did it the right way. He got married, had kids, because y'all always say, well, if you do it the right way, you won't have this problem. Okay, so he did it the right way. He served his country. Yeah. He paid all the bills. He paid for school tuition. Even though she made $100,000 a year, he still was being the lead of the house. So he thought. He separated, but he still was being a man trying to take care of the house. And guess what? He filed divorce because he was tired of the bullshit that was going on. And guess what? Government daddy looked out for her and set him up for failure. And now he's wrong because he coming out the bullshit and he's not keeping his mouth shut. And a lot of these, like you said, white knights, these fake ass pro-blacks, these civil forces unit will sit back and tell you, just shut your mouth and pay that child support. But y'all sit back and say this shit don't exist.
Right.
It's us black men who complain about child support. You can't make this shit up.
It's real simple. Let me make this real simple. Yeah, you're right. Thank you.
You can't make this shit
real
up.
Simple for those out there. Look, I think that maybe states like Illinois, they got to be developing this child support method using Common Core math, because I want to take for one moment and just use some basic old-fashioned American math. Just the old plus and minus. Okay, a little simple division or multiplication. Nothing real complex here. If in America, we've got all of these demographics of parents, right, of varying races and economic backgrounds, okay? We have a national standard or average, and I believe right now the national average for a 2-bedroom apartment across the United States is approximately $1,200 a month, okay? Of course, there's a lot of differences and variances based upon locations, and that cost is driven up by the likes of San Francisco, New York City, Chicago. But these cities hold millions and millions of people. We forget that. While they might only be Chicago might only be one city, we don't pause to think that Cook County comprises 6 million people in one singular county of a state that has 102 counties. You understand me? So it is significant to understand the housing cost here, because the single largest cost for the American family is the American household, the home. However much rent you're going to pay or whatever mortgage you have is typically your single largest monthly expense. Okay, this is a true fact. Now, if the average American family is only a few paychecks away from some form of abject poverty to begin a serious financial struggle and financial decline, they only need to miss 3 paychecks, because that's about all that they've got in some sort of reserves is I believe about the national average, right? We're not far off from economic casualty for these families is the point. Now, if you take that family they're going through a tough economic time, let's take right now, okay? They were both providing, man's providing, the woman's providing he loses his job due to COVID. His industry is shut down. This is happening right now. He loses his job due to COVID. She continues to work, yet her income, excuse me, her income cannot pay the full amount. So it strains the relationship. Now they divide, okay? Strains the relationship, they break apart, they've got a young child, she gets full custody, okay? Now that man needs a home suitable in size and comfort, okay? Whoever becomes the non-custodial parent must also provide a home similar in size and comfort. Why not? Why wouldn't they? Why does the non-custodial have to take a significant pay cut? Why does the non-custodial have to redistribute their income to the other person, especially when they're standing there saying, I am fit, I would like to raise my children equally. Equally. Why is equality a threat to so many feminists? I can't understand this. Okay?
Right.
Point of the matter being is you can't take two, because now without any increase in income, they parted ways. Right now he's out of a job. He doesn't have a home. She's got full custody, she's got full custody. He's got no job. He's on child support. The arrears is racking up. What's truly racking up is the amount of days he's going to be in jail. What's really racking up here is how much more money is going to get distributed into those state detention facilities for your physical presence inside their cage. Okay, they criminalize your fatherhood first and foremost, or they criminalize your parenthood. They have criminalized the fight to be a parent, and the expression of that fight, the advertisement of that fight, the journalism of that fight. It does not take a rocket scientist with a law degree from Northwestern University to calculate that with no increase in revenue, no more money coming into the home, and now you got to pay for two houses, two-bedroom, $1,200 a month homes with no increase in income. He can't do that, plus pay child support on top of it.
You know what? I'm glad you said something, because I was on the phone with you some days ago and you taught me something. I've been telling people in Illinois, because in New York, they'll take money out your pension. And I was telling people here in Illinois, I was like, they don't take money out your pension. But Kash Jackson put me on game. He told me they do. I want you to explain to them how they're taking money out of your pension. Because you said there was a difference with them taking the money out the pension. Some bullshit. And I want y'all to learn from this. They can't take it from your pension. Go ahead, Kash.
Yeah, I'm right. All right. So there's different pays and allowances that active duty service members and veterans receive. Okay. They're different. I'm not getting paid I'm not active duty military. I am a veteran. Okay. So I did the full 20 years. I did the full 20, did the block of it, earned my pension. Okay. One, that pension should be an embarrassment for the amount of hours that we actually work. Okay. It really pissed me off in Illinois because I ran for governor there. I know what the likes of teachers make when they retire from the public union. I know what the likes of other individuals, what they were making, these educators from universities and government officials retiring there in Illinois, and what they were making. And comparatively to what we make, we got far less. Okay. And the little bit of money that I get, the less than $2,000 a month in my military pension, that's paid out to me from the Defense Finance Accounting Service, what's known as DFAS. But DFAS does also pay active duty side. Okay. So that money, okay, we know there's different pots of money than government, right?
Right.
The Defense Finance and Accounting Service, okay, they send money to active duty military as well as to military retiree pensions like my own. So we're easy targets. What does that mean? Well, we're right there in Lake County. There's two very large naval stations. There's this massive turnover, right? People don't really consider this about Lake County. There's this massive turnover near military installations where they rotate in and out. So they're easy to get lost in the system because you're only going to be there for a few years and then you're getting rotated out to a different county. You ain't going to pose no problems for them. So they're going to impose this really lopsided child support order on you because they know the likelihood of you fighting it and getting away with it is slim to none because you're going to get stationed somewhere else anyway. Right? That happens all the time. So they chew up these service members. The majority of the military is comprised of men. The primary age demographic that we recruited from whenever I was a Navy recruiter, 17 to 21-year-old young men. The overwhelming majority of the military, young men. The overwhelming majority of these child support orders coming from men. Okay? It's not to negate all of these women, all of these friends and people that I know that are dealing with the exact same thing, right? And it's got to be that inclusion, right? Like I know there's baby mama terrorists. Mine is. She is a baby mama terrorist. Okay. God, there is baby daddy terrorists out there doing the same horrible shit to these people. Okay.
Yes.
And we got to put a stop to all of it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's a few.
That's
why I got some women on my platform, because they got a baby daddy terrorist. So, but I keep it real, Cash.
They dealing with it.
I keep it real.
You keep it real, man.
There's more baby mama terrorists than it is baby daddy, because the majority of baby mama terrorists got custody versus a man who's a piece of shit. He rarely get custody. That's the truth is what it is. And that's the issue on Facebook. They got the man and women. Okay, that's fine. That's good for you to get your likes, get your notoriety and everything else. But you only got 15% of women who's on child support and non-custodial parent, and only half of them pay the shit. Right. So I ain't finna sit back and say, "Oh, it's both."
It doesn't make you. It doesn't make you. And it doesn't make you anti-woman to acknowledge.
No, it don't.
Facts.
It's just the truth. No, it's more grandparents more alienated than the mother.
That's it.
So if anything, you should say fathers and grandparents.
You're simply acknowledging.
Right. I'm acknowledging the truth. Like if you gonna say besides a father, you can say grandparents. More grandparents are more alienated than a woman. So like I said, they could take that bullshit they want. I'm telling the truth, and that truth is what it is. Y'all know how I get down. And it's not about being anti-woman. I tell people all the time. A baby mama terrorist come in all forms. It ain't about your color. It ain't about where you work, where you from, where you live, where you grew up at, your political party. They all one and the same. You seen one hoe, you seen them all. What I tell people, I am anti-feminist. I'm definitely anti-feminist. Hey, anybody agree with that feminist shit? Then you ain't shit to me. Because you already know how that shit is. Who you think? They run the system. They run the system. Right. The judges, them feminist ass judges.
You know hey, I just write down. I actually just go down, comically there, I went down a different pathway with this to say, I'm actually a better feminist than all of you.
Exactly.
I'm actually a far better feminist than any of the feminists today, right? Like if you wanted to be real about it, because like I'm actually over here trying to change domestic policy for actual equality, where there's a glaring disparity in equality. I mean, it just is what it is. There's a glaring disparity in the equality of these numbers, right? And what's the consequence of that? Okay, if you're pro-woman, you cannot be pro-woman and pro these policies when these policies are creating the circumstances for more women to be abused and to grow up in poverty. Do any of these children matter to you? To these feminists? This is what kills me. Do these children matter to you to the degree that when the macro data supports, modern social science and medicine indicates that these children need both parents as much as humanly possible, to have a national standard of every other weekend, though unwritten and undefined, somehow yet the entire country operates under this predominant model. It's a default model. Why is that the default model? Why isn't equality the default? And why am I a misogynist for asking why equality is not the default?
100%.
It's asinine.
Right. You just can't make this shit up. Now, I gotta ask you.
Can't make this crazy shit up.
You know what? I gotta ask you this, Cash, because I asked everybody, because they say that white men don't go through this. Are your kids manipulated?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to ask that question because we the only ones that had these problems. You don't have them problems because you the white man, you good. You don't have them situations. And again, I keep trying to tell y'all, I don't have no criminal record. I don't even have an arrest record. The most I have, I've been pulled over and got speeding tickets. But as far as anything else, no. They don't give a fuck about your record. They don't give a shit.
No.
They don't.
No, absolutely not. Right. No, because and that's some of the crazy disparities that we see in these courts, right? You'll see, and I've seen plenty of circumstances where they're legit they're legit giving custody to an individual with a severe criminal and psychological background. Now, there's a difference in a person having, experienced circumstantial depression because, you went through a relationship breakup, or you got fired from your job, or you didn't get a job you're trying to get, or, you failed out of med school, whatever, right? But what they're doing is they're taking and breaking down an individual's life, and they are nitpicking everything to the nth degree as though they are some form of psychological experts that can determine who and what you are based upon simply, I don't know, a conversation like this. Okay. From this conversation right here, they've probably came to about 20 different conclusions about what you and I are, right?
Oh, of course.
And it's nothing ever positive. There's nothing, they didn't bring up any in court how I'm working on building this veteran nonprofit. They didn't, there's no discussion in there of how well I performed in college or how well I performed in the military. All of that is kept out of the record. There can be no character building for the targeted parent. They're not going to allow anything remotely positive about you to be built up about your character, because they have to maintain a narrative, and that's what they did in this court this past week, is they have to maintain a narrative of covering for their crime. How do they cover their crime? They go back and they will extract anything that they can find from your past and try and plug it in, okay, with the limited amount of information, and insert it there with to shape that narrative and craft that narrative. And then the judge will assist in that case shaping by striking out questions, saying something doesn't have any relevance to the circumstance.
Right.
What do you mean there's no, right? And when it's relevant to benefit our arguments, of course, she's not going to allow it in. The feminist isn't going to allow it, right? But the record speaks for itself. No matter what they didn't include, all of the material evidence that I have still says I've been fighting like a son of a bitch for 7 years, and this woman, the mother of my children, has not got one viable excuse on why she has not allowed our children to contact me. She feigns that she is incapable of doing that. Bullshit. I raise the bullshit flag. If you can make children, by God, eat their vegetables, you can make them go to bed. You can make them make their bed. You can make them go to church. You can make them do extracurricular activities. You can make them do 1,000,001 things. But the one thing you're telling me you can't make them do is to call their father.
Oh, man.
My bullshit flag.
Right.
Because I'm not buying it, lady. If that's your argument, then okay, fine. That's your argument. I agree with you. You can't make them do it. That means you don't deserve full custody, because I tell you what, underneath my watch, my children are going to call their mother because I said so. You ramifications.
Yeah, and you know what? And that's
wouldn't be that.
That's the funniest thing. They tend to let the kids run the household. That's why a lot of these
they want the kids to run them.
Right, they let them, and a lot of our boys are so emasculated and weak, and they lazy, don't want to do shit. They crying, whining. Because I heard what you said in the video. They made a big issue because you made your kids do, or your son do push-ups, because he did something wrong. Because for doing push-ups, push-ups, y'all.
Yeah,
he didn't beat him. Push-ups, and they used it against him. Push-ups.
It is because if you look at these people, the number was 50, right? That's what they started with. This is where it started, mind you. So for months, it's been, I made my son do 50 push-ups, right? This is a really horrible thing in their eyes. I was a drill instructor for one, okay? I've trained thousands of people, thousands. Some people with a lick of common sense might say that somewhat makes me kind of an expert in the matter, okay? When I've taken extremely overweight, obese teenagers and got them into a position of where they are now physically fit, motivated young men and women. Some people might say we need more of that in our society. We need a little bit more discipline in our society. Yeah. Am I on my rocker 100%? No, dude. I spent 20 years in the United States military. You understand me? You don't go 20 years in the United States military and spend months at a time submerged underneath the ocean, separated from all that you love and hold dear, okay, and come out and be 100%. Can I function in society, right? Can I treat my fellow man with respect, right? can I abide by the laws of this nation so far as I'm not harming other people? Okay.
Right.
Am I committing some sort of a huge moral transgression because I use cannabis to manage depression I got from fighting with sexual kids?
It's legal.
They using it in the court. They used it in my case.
Nah, not the marijuana.
Is this you? Is this you? Is this you smoking a joint outside the Capitol building in Washington, D.C.? Well, one, can you tell me if there's CBD in there? Can you tell me the THC level in that? Can you tell me anything about what you're looking at other than the words that are on that post?
Wow.
No, you can't. Secondly, is any of it criminal? Is any of it criminal? I'm going to ask you again, sir, Mr. Attorney Raymond Bolt, right? You want to know a name? Raymond Bolt.
Say it one more time, brother, so you know.
Raymond Bolt, B-O-L-D-T.
Illinois?
Dirtbag, supreme dirtbag. Yeah, Illinois, grade A dirtbag. This guy, Mundelein, Illinois. Yeah.
Mundelein. Oh, okay. Mundelein, Illinois. Thank you.
Mundelein, Illinois. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
He's up north suburbs.
Yep. Oh, he's a real dirtbag. This guy. Yeah. Yeah. He's siphoned thousands of dollars away from my children, money that could have went to my kids, money that I could have used to, I don't know, fund more education for my children, money that could have been funded to help buy them property or buy them Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. Could have been done a million things, but guess who gets it? All of these attorneys and these judges who get to get their little racket. Yep, get their little racket going.
Yep. Oh man, I want to give a shout out to XL Pro for the $5 donation. He said, "Salute to the show. Appreciate you, my brother." You know what? What else? It was something I wanted to ask you regarding that. I know, the push-ups. Now you talking about the smoking marijuana. They talk about you on Facebook, social media.
Right. Wow. Everything. They want to build an arsenal against you. Okay. Right. For a lack of better descriptions, you and I are running, Chris Cole as well, right? Yeah. We're running shows that are similar in nature, okay, and aspiring to be somebody like a Joe Rogan, okay, somebody who just gets down and they just talk and they just have conversation and they just have dialogue, and a lot of that speech you don't care for. You wouldn't want your kids sitting around listening to it. Okay, well, whose job is it to monitor the kids' internet usage and what they're hearing? If me and you in this conversation right here is detrimental to my children, and that's what they're alleging, Mr. Palmer, they're alleging that me and you talking like this and having a conversation about child support like this will be, in fact, they're probably sending this to the judge as we speak. Okay?
Oh, I believe it. Yeah,
I'm not even joking.
No, Chris Cole said it when I was on Chris Cole's show, and he told me, he said all their names. He said, "I bet you they're gonna use this clip," and I'll be damned. That's they because they did it to him. They showed my picture. Oh, black man with a fuck child support head. Oh, and they used that against him. And I was on his show. Yeah. And then they saw fuck child support on Facebook because he tagged it. So they used all that. To make him a bad guy.
All that, right?
That's definitely unfortunate because he was trying to. I think he was trying to get more parent time. They denied it. They want him to take a psychological examination and force him to take
psychological test.
They want to force him to take it.
Yeah, don't take that.
He said he wasn't.
Take that. Don't take that. Don't take that. State overreach. They're using your children, and they will use your children. We have to stand our ground. We have to stand our ground, okay? You have to stand your ground. You have to stand up, and you have to keep standing up over and over and over and over, right? It is the repetition that will build the champions that will destroy that system.
100%. Mm-hmm. I want to give a shout out to Dinar for the $5 donation. He said, "It's crazy how the courts give the mother power to destroy the relationship between the kids and the fathers." Yeah, they've been doing it for a lot of years, man. They're going to continue to do it. But see, they mad at us because we call this shit out and we telling the truth. I'm showing stats, CDCs, and everything else, one-on-one interviews, letting y'all hear from a black man, white man, whoever. You can't make this shit up. You know what I mean? Well, let me ask you this. What keeps you, y'all know how I get down. I say keep them veins cold. How do you motivate to keep yourself going and tell your story, spread awareness, still continue to talk to other veterans and other fathers who are going through it or who is about to go through it, or you let, like me, there's people on here that don't even have kids, but they want to know what could happen if they get into the wrong relationship or the wrong feminist woman. How do you keep going? What motivates you to keep on moving? Because what you telling us is something that will make an average guy who's weak jump out the window.
Oh, dude, hey, this will kill the strongest man, dude. I'll
It
tell you
sure
right
will.
now.
It sure will.
The strongest men I ever met will crumble under this, right?
Yeah.
They'll crumble under this. Okay. It's designed in such a way. And a large part of it is faith-based, right? A large part of it is, I come from a Christian teaching and upbringing. Now, my mindset and how I've kind of grown as a human being, as a man, and my understanding of human psychology and human nature, I don't really subscribe to, so much of that Christian faith. I subscribe more to a faith of, I'm accepting the design of, and this might sound weird to a lot of people, okay? And maybe this is my screwed up way of simply processing the trauma of the last X amount of years that I've been going through this, right? But that, there are certain people that come at certain times, and we will ultimately endure this. We won't just endure it. We will grow from that experience, and we're going to help fundamentally alter and change the entire landscape, the fabric of this nation. We will change the fabric of this nation through our consistency and by continuing to motivate and to inspire and build others, and to break down our own, fears and apprehensions about our inabilities, or our inadequacies, maybe a better way to put it, that we feel we are not adequate enough because we got a past, we've made mistakes, we've done things wrong, and so we don't want to get ourselves out there. We don't want our story out there because we did make mistakes, and we don't want to be scrutinized. You know what? You're right, you don't. And that's called courage, right? The opportunity for courage to be utilized is in those moments and in those times where this is wrong, and yeah, they're going to punish you. They're going to punish you. You got to understand that. They're going to punish you, right?
Yeah.
But that is what courage is. It's fighting back when this is wrong. I got to do something. I got to fight back.
You know what? I'm going to ask you one more question, because I know you got another conference to do. And I definitely appreciate coming on here. Hopefully you'll come on here again. It ain't got to be no one. Well, this is your second time coming on here. You came on here when I didn't have 1,000 subscribers. So we're going to be, we going to network regardless. Your mother, she's ill with cancer. And I want to know how she doing, and also how does she feel seeing you go through what you go through, and I believe she's not able to see the grandchildren as well, right?
That's right. Yeah, man.
So
it's something that, let me say, well, number one, she's doing good. So thank you so much for being compassionate enough to ask me. So
okay,
appreciate that.
Good.
She is, man. She is going through the chemo treatments. She's got another chemo coming up on Monday. She was able to zoom into my court hearing, and man, it's a comical moment there. We'll share this another time. But she's fighting through it, man. She's got pancreatic cancer. It is a deadlier form of cancer. It's dangerous.
Yes.
And I had another person.
Survival, I think 1 or 2% survival rate. So
right? But she will tell you she is not sick and she is not dying. Okay, this is the mindset of my mother, right? And if you want to know how my mother is living. Okay, my mother is fighting. My mother is, finding a way in spite of it all, right, to continue on. And when you really want to know what makes Kash Jackson get up every day and keep going, right, it's having watched my mother be alienated from me. Okay, it's having watched my mother fight her fight the way that I'm fighting it right now. It's having watched her endure everything that she endured. Okay, and she's still there with a smile on her face. She's still doing it strong, and she's still supporting people like you and I. And it's remarkable to see somebody like that. And I'm extremely fortunate to have a mother, right, that has overcame all of the obstacles and all of the hurdles and all of the shortcomings and everything that she had in her past. Dude, she's overcame that, and she's fought through it. And she's a monumental supporter of not just me, but this entire movement, man. She helps out I mean, there's buddies of mine.
I
There's
know. I
Chris
see you
Mark
on the
sitting in
lines
jail.
with him, man.
Hey, we got Chris Mark sitting in jail up there in Indiana. My mother, writes and sending him letters.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that. Oh, wow. So,
Yeah, he's in the debtors' prisons. Yep.
wow. So you was alienated from seeing your mom.
Yeah, man, it's a part of my story. A lot of people don't know. That.
I didn't know that either. You just told me something that I'm like, what? Wow, you was alienated from your mom.
Yeah, man, it's yeah. If you were to go in another part of my story, man, and you reviewed my pre-Navy life and some other parts, man, I was actually kept from my father throughout my entire life. I didn't know him until I was about 22, 23. Like, I knew his name, right? I knew who he was, but I never met him. Didn't have no photos, no cards, no nothing.
Yeah.
And then with my mother, it was very limited. It was very limited contact that was permitted from my maternal grandparents that raised me.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, the grandparents. I told alienation is real, y'all. It could be your own grandparents doing it. I mean, that's why I was talking about Sergeant Tyson with his grandma terrorist.
Right.
It's real. Julius Mays got a question for you. Fat out donation. He said, "Can Kash speak on how they take all your extra pay when overseas? Hazardous duty pay, tax-free pay, blah blah, BAH, etc. Then you can. I know you got to roll.
Right. So BAH, right? That's his basic allowance for pay, tax-free pay. Look, all 50 states have their abilities to calculate out child support as they see fit. And of course, these states, it's very easy for them to Google. And matter of fact, there's plenty of officers within the military and post-military. Okay, even many of them are reservists and they are attorneys. These are dirt bags. Okay, because they're incorporating these fundings, these monies, knowing full well that most of those monies are temporary. And in order for that service member to get a modification, it is way more difficult than what everyone wants to try and portray it. All you need to do is just go in and let them know that your income changed. Bullshit.
No, it don't.
Like, no. How about you need to go in there and you need to be able to do some algebraic or equations or some trigonometry to figure out how to get a reduction. It should be common sense. It should be easy. It should be, hey, I got laid off and this is what it is. No. It could take you months or years, if ever.
Wow.
Those pays though, okay. How do they go after them? It's simply because every state has their ability to calculate it as they see fit. This is an issue that the military should be taking up. It's an issue that the American Legion, AMVETS, the VFW, every one of them should be taking up this issue because they are breaking federal law in many instances. Y'all need to understand that, like, once you get out, especially your military disability pay, okay, I don't give a shit what the states break federal law every day.
Oh,
the states violate, as does the federal government. Okay?
Yeah.
Your federal disability benefits are federally protected, but yet states like Illinois will calculate it as income, just like they do with those pays that he was talking about. They'll add that in and say, oh yeah, well, he gets this and he gets this. You might have your mileage comped by your business, right? You might get, another $20 a mile, or I'm sorry, $20 a day rather for driving 100, an extra 100 miles. I don't know. They throw those little bonuses in there, but it doesn't mean that they're going to be permanent. It's not a permanent fixture of your income, yet they will make it a permanent fixture. They do the same thing to the military, and it's a way to dissipate your resources. It's a way to make you more economically dependent upon government. And it is something that we should all be rejecting because we need to support our homes first and foremost. And as long as our homes are safe and secure, our lights are being paid, there's no issues there, okay? Then after everything's paid, that's what they should, if they're going to consider child support, that's what they should take it from. That's not the policy, it's not the practice, but that's what we should be driving for.
100%. Well, before you go, brother, I was trying to find your YouTube. I know you got a YouTube channel. Can you let everybody know how they can contact you, how they can follow you on Facebook? And also, I need your YouTube.
Yeah, man. So,
you have YouTube?
I do. I haven't been using it, right? So I've been traveling a bunch. A lot of the media and stuff that I want to do. Excuse me. I'm working on building the platform and the network first, right? I'm trying to get all the frame structure because we are a nonprofit. We're a 501c19. We're trying to get all that put in place first. But if you just Google Kash Jackson with a K, I'm currently underneath a 30-day ban on Facebook and a 30-day ban on TikTok.
That's why I'm coming over there, man. That's why I stopped. I'm on YouTube.
You can get me on Twitter. You can get me on Instagram, and we're gonna be up and running on Veteran Liberty Network. So most of my broadcasts I'm going to begin doing from Veteran Liberty Network, and I'm just going to keep it news, journalism oriented, but a lot of it, of course, is going to be right up this alley. So
definitely, and also TikTok is Kash Jackson. He has a TikTok also.
TikTok, yeah, man.
Yeah,
Veteran Liberty Network though, VLN. We've got a TikTok.
You got a YouTube?
I'm gonna start building. Yeah, we got a YouTube, but again, these things they're not up and running. Our website.
Okay, I just want to make sure so I can follow, subscribe, and we're gonna network anyway. So we don't matter.
Network is in, man. All the veterans in there. Look, it's best that we network in. Okay.
Yeah.
It's the collaborative effort. This collaboration, these discussions, this us feeding one another, right? Will become a tornado, man. That's how it works.
No, definitely, Kay. I know you got a conference you got to do, so I want to let you get your relax on.
Man, I got to run, brother.
Jump over there,
you, man.
All right, brother. Hey, we're gonna do this again. I'm gonna call you tomorrow, brother.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, my brother.
Have a good one.
All right, now. Peace out.
Me on, man. Be good.
Yes, sir. Salute. Hey, shout out to Kash Jackson. Appreciate him tuning in. Like I say, you just can't make this shit up. I'm gonna put the link in, and if y'all want to chime in, I'm gonna be on for another 30 minutes, and then I'm gonna have to jump off and get back on the couch. Y'all know what I do. The reason why I came on late because I was fitting the schedule, and when I have somebody important to come on here, I will, I normally come on at 1, and but me, I'm flexible. If I can't, then I'll do it later. So I went off his schedule. Excuse me. I want to give a shout out to Sergeant Tice for the $5 donation. He said, when I was down in DC after the riots, I just found out that child support took another $600 from my military duty pay for no reason. You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up, brother. You just cannot make this shit up. What's up, Yisrael?
What's good? Hey, man, it's good to see that soldier, man. It's good to see, in different ways. He a soldier in different ways, man.
Yeah.
But he was, you know what I'm saying? I was saying it not in an official way, but definitely, he made a lot of good points, and we do need to stand up. We do need to link up, and it's like I don't know what it is, but like he's saying, I'm glad it's a call to arms, man. He rallying the troops in different ways. You feel what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I like that, man.
And this is why I tell y'all as men, even women, but especially the men, we have to change the laws in our mind if we're going to make change. We have to get ourselves in order. We have to tell our story. We have to spread awareness. It's a start. Once we start spreading awareness and we fix ourselves, you know what I'm saying? That's why I say we have to fix ourselves mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially. We got to keep them veins cold. You know what I'm saying? We have to build a brotherhood. An enemy of our enemy is a friend. We have to put our difference to the side for this because this shit is big. We got to stop shedding our mouths. We got to stop being quiet. You know what I'm saying? This is a war. This feminist shit is a war. And just imagine if, not saying y'all not out here fighting. These people been fighting for fathers' rights and everything before I was even in the picture, before I even started this. You know what I mean? But what I did, I went out of the political, like he said, politically correct. And hey, Mike, I hear a lot of shit in your thing. So you know what I'm saying, and the reason why I said fuck child support because child support is the reason why majority of this shit is going on to this day when it comes to men's rights and everything else. So even though a lot of people say, oh, you hate women, you hate black women, or you don't want to be a father, you a deadbeat and shit like that. A lot of men knew exactly what I was talking about. A lot of men understood. A lot of women understood. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Ted Bush, because this is the lawyer who represented Kash Jackson, who's been representing him for the last couple of years. And he's also in Illinois. And Ted, I want you to come on here sometime this week or next week whenever you can. And he's been doing this pro bono, and he could tell you the bullshit. He's a lawyer, and he went through being alienated and shit like that. I believe that's what made him become a lawyer. So shout out to Ted Bush. Yeah. See, so yeah, you just can't make this shit up. And that's why I try to tell y'all, yes, it hurt black men. We lower the toll pole. We at a high rate when it comes to child support and all that shit. But all men are suffering as a whole with this shit. You know what I mean? And that's why I told y'all that I want my platform to be diverse. No, I'm not politically correct. I'm not finna wear a suit and tie if I don't have to. I'm not finna dance without no music. And I'm definitely not finna tickle no bitch's chin. That's one thing I'm not finna do. Integrity is my thing, and I'm just gonna come out and tell the truth. And y'all know what it is. Truth is what it is. And this is why it's very important that we hear for all these different races and demographics and different political avenues, because we all going through this. They don't give a fuck about what your livelihood is. The more money, like he said, doctors, a lot of white doctors on child support paying $10,000 a month, $5,000 a month. And they alienated, or they see their kids every other weekend. It's a money grab. They don't give a shit about you. I'm telling you, the judge could be a Klan member, right? You got a Klan member come up in there fighting for father's rights. I'm gonna be honest with you. The Klan member might be like, the father's fighting, a Klan member gonna do one of them hows, and then the judge say how. But once that motherfucker, no parent to time, no every other weekend, you're non-custodial, and we want you paying $12,000 a month in child support. And then when it's all said and done, then you might get the high Hitler. After that, fuck you. And again, it could be one of them black ass judges that go be up in there. You go up now, he one of the brothers. Oh, okay. You put up your black fist. You think you got a good father, bro? You think you got a good brother that's gonna look out for you and be there for you and tell you what's right? Yeah, he gonna throw you that fist up, and after he throw you that fist up, it's one day out the month, and it's gonna be supervised visitation. Yeah, you had your head on tilted to the left, so you must be a gang member. So you gonna pay $500 a month in child support because we know you struggling and you in the hood, but you still not gonna see your kids, and you gonna pay some type of child support. And after that, then he's back to fighting the power and shit. You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. So, like I said, they don't give a shit about you or where you from. Not when it comes to that. Now, if you can talk about everything else, yeah, you can say systematic and everything else, but they don't give a fuck about you and your color and your creed and your race and your pro-black what's the other one? What's the other one? White supremacist. They don't care about you being a Richard Spencer. They don't care about you being a Joe. What's his name? They don't care about you being Louis Farrakhan. They don't care about you being David Duke. They don't care about you being Muhammad Ali. You go up in that motherfucker for fighting for your father's rights and shit like that every other weekend, if that, and child support paying up the ass. Shit, they don't give a shit. Shit, this shit is real. So y'all can get mad at me and say, oh, who hurt you and who hurt you and who hurt this, not that. Y'all already know how I get down.
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch.
Not at all. Because all I'm going to do, I'm going to spread awareness for men to keep their veins cold. If need be, I tell y'all, wash your hands and move on. Tell your story and expose these baby mama tears whores and these this unjust ass sister for what they is. That's what you do. And then that's when other men, young men, rise up, and it'll be less babies out of wedlock. It'll be less single motherism going on, because ain't no man gonna even want to fuck your funky ass, because men gonna either go overseas or live a free agent lifestyle or get a surrogate and have it the way he wanted. see, that's why everything is getting low. That's why it's getting low. The divorce rates is gonna eventually get low, because ain't no motherfucker getting married out here. Ain't nobody having kids all over the place. Ain't nobody having kids. Now I can't. And yeah, I know. Ain't nobody gonna do what I did. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be less of that. But check this out. Also, not only that, ain't gonna be no. It's already lack of marriages, but it's gonna be less birth rates. You see, the birth rates is going on decline. The steady decline with these birth rates, because nobody want getting caught up in that bullshit. Nobody. So, like I said, keep your veins cold. Wash your hands and move on if need be, and tell your story and expose this bullshit, because this shit has been going on for too fucking long, and motherfuckers sitting back with their heads down talking about we support our kings, or talking about white knighting and all this, the simple forces.
Here I come to save the day.
You know how they get that right. I want to give a shout out to Hard Work and the Truth for the $4.99 donation. Appreciate you, my brother, to the fullest. You know what I'm saying? I'm just telling you the truth. Shout out to Honey69 for the $2 donation. Say hi, Mr. Palmer. How much did I miss? You missed Kash Jackson tell his story, but once it's over, you could definitely rewind back. He's a white brother that I've been knowing for 5 years. He the one put me on game when it came to the reality of child support as a whole. It's a men's situation. He's been fighting his sister for over 7 years. He ran for governor in Illinois some years ago. He's a Navy veteran. You would think he had white privilege, but he didn't have white privilege when he was up in that courtroom. I tell you that. Been fighting. Kids manipulated. He's paying child support $2,000 a month, I believe, and he's retired. You can't make this shit up. Shout out to Miss Honey69. Yeah. Let me see if his phone better now. What's that? What's that music?
Yo, I'm in the gym, man.
No, it's cool. I thought, you know what? I thought I was hearing some of that distorted, but now it's music. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm in the gym.
Working out, bro. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing all right. Man, let me go up in the hallway right quick.
Okay.
Cool down. So, so you can hear me better. Music in the background. There's a lot of spicy women in here.
Oh, is it?
Yes. We were down in Zuma working out. I'm like, oh shit.
No, that's good. You working out, brother. You know, you gotta fix yourself physically, man.
Yeah, because I was where was that? I was at the I went to my doctor today to get a follow up on my high blood pressure, and took everything, and she said like, yo, everything's good. Just keep working out, keep doing what you're doing, and keep eating healthy. I told her I didn't lose weight. I gained a lot of muscle.
That's good. That's great.
So,
yeah, that's great. How many more years you got to do in the military? Or how many years you plan on doing?
I got 4 years active duty in the regular Army. I got 2 years. After that, I got out. I took a break, got back in 2006. I did 2 years in the reserves, and everything else is National Guard since 2008.
Okay. So that's what's up.
So I just want to do like another 6 and get a better pension than before.
I understand.
Yeah, child support ain't no joke, man. When I just found out yesterday on one of my military pay stubs saying like, oh, I owe $600. I'm like, what are you talking about? Then I made some calls, I looked around and looked it up, and it turned out to be child support.
So you owe $600 and that child support, or they went up on your child support?
No, I owe $600 to the military.
Huh?
Child support all of a sudden saying like I owe $600 all of a sudden. I was like, this shit's messed up. The thing is, I'm not behind. I'm all caught up, but they decided to go stick their hands into somewhere else where my money's coming from.
Wow. So they put in your rears.
Yeah. And the thing is, I don't owe arrears.
Wow. Shout out to Gail Lockett. I know Gail was over there with the lead attorney. Shout out to him too. You know what I mean? He was talking about that boxing match stuff. Fresh and Fit and the other two people, man. It's funny. Shout out to Gail Lockett, man. Man. So I mean, they not threatening to take your license and all that stuff, right?
Nah, I'll make sure of that.
Okay.
I'll make sure they ain't gonna take away my license. They gonna take away my license when I gotta work.
Right. You're in the military. They don't care.
I got to follow up on like that. Like when I was overseas and two Marines killed themselves because their wives took everything. I mean, they took everything. Took the kids, took the house, sold the cars, cleaned out the bank accounts, and just left without nothing, anything else.
Wow.
And they've been trying to find them, and these guys are left out with no money because all their money go right into the bank account. But the bank accounts, once you try to dip into the bank account a little bit, they can't get no money out of it because the wife is taking the money and bouncing. And all of a sudden, they get letters in the mail. Normally, it takes like when I was overseas in Iraq, it takes normally like 2 to 3 weeks for your mail to actually come to you. And they get in the mail like divorce papers and stuff. What's this divorce papers coming up in hand? They got to sign them. Like they'd be like, "What's this?" And after that, they just lost it. Said, "Fuck it."
Damn.
And some of them, yeah, you know, during the time they also had a whole bunch of soldiers over there on suicide watch because they took away their weapons and stuff. Watching them happen.
Damn. They had to take the weapon because, like you say, they was in that mode. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I often say why they take the weapon. It's common sense. Yeah. Two of them
on suicide watch. Two people was watching that person, making sure he eats, sleep, don't leave him out their sights, shackling them up together and stuff because most of them are going through the same thing and stuff. Wives is divorcing them or just leaving them and stuff, paying child support out of nowhere, spousal support. And they can't get a divorce. And they get these divorce papers overseas. Like, shit, they can't do anything. They're up in battle.
Hell, they can't even go to court, can they?
No.
So that means they can do whatever they want. Hey, they can say he making $20,000 a month. He ain't there to represent. Wow, that's sad. Set up move.
Yeah, them doing setups.
That's why
I got the right one. I don't care if he died or anything. I'm still gonna get them. They still gonna get the benefits.
Yeah, they get it regardless, huh?
Yeah, they're not. They're still gonna get the benefits. They're gonna get the health insurance and not the health insurance coverage up to a certain point, and also the life insurance or whatever. It can be from 400 to 600,000, depending on the status. But it's crazy when I was over there.
Hey, Robert said, I've been paying way too much for way too long. I've been patient. She's taking advantage of the situation. Hell yeah, man. If I were you, if you paying child support, you pay your child support. Don't give no extra money because that's a game, bro. Get out. Give it what brother daddy say give, and that's it. And call it a day. Don't give a shit. Yeah, go. Try to, if you can, bro. Yeah, fight in battle, bro. If you can, brother. You know, don't let her take advantage of that. Fuck that.
Man, I was gonna do a live stream while I was in the gym, but I left my freaking tripod at home to hold my phone up. Anyway, my bad. Sorry, brother. It's all right. But yeah, I can only turn the camera around, man. I gotta see this.
What?
Nah, it's not there to see. They just single mothers walking off that way. Anyways, I'll let you handle your business, and I'll get back with y'all later.
Man, I appreciate you, my brother, tuning in, man.
All right,
brother. Peace out. Here's my YouTube channel for everybody that's on Facebook. They want to come on my YouTube. I appreciate it. I'm trying to get everybody from Facebook. If I get the 137,000 people over here, it'd be it'll be a miracle. You know, this is my YouTube though. If y'all want to subscribe, you know what I'm saying? And if you don't want to type all that, go to YouTube, type Mr. Palmer. I will guarantee I will pop out. I'll be the first name to pop up because I'm out here heating it up. That's why most of y'all here, man. Mr. Dixon said, I'm fighting cuz I go to court September 16th. Good luck to you, my brother. You fight till you can't no more, but you still tell your story regardless of what. You know what I'm saying? This is my YouTube, y'all. I'm not gonna hold y'all too long. I just wanted Kash come on here and tell his story because, you know, everybody, you know, these baby mama tears queens tend to say that, oh, it's just black men complaining, which they just do that to shame you. And you know, they getting their feelings because you telling the truth, especially when you talk about them saying they children up for failure, you know, and they say white men don't say shit. White men don't go through this shit. You know, they talk to Brian on you know who video and he telling them bullshit ass lie. He's not one of them Captain Save white knights and shit. You know how they get down.
Here I come to save the day.
You know what I mean? And appreciate it, Joseph. See, people mad at me because I tell them baby mama Ted go to Walmart. Walmart always hiring. Don't ask me for no extra money. I pay what I pay, and that's that. You know what I mean? I can't deal with my kids and see my kids and they manipulate it. And I'm supposed to sit back and give you extra and look out for you. Nah, fuck you. Walmart always hiring. And if you don't like Walmart, Amazon always hiring too. If you don't like that, my suggestion you is start your own home business. OnlyFans. IG model. I don't know, stand on the corner with a sign and say I need help. I don't know what the fuck to tell you. You know what I mean? So yeah, you can't make this shit up. Northeast says I had a bitch tell me she was on birth control and single and lied and had a baby supposedly mine for her and her girlfriend. Wow, ain't that a bitch? You cannot trust these whores, bro. See, you cannot trust these baby mama terrorist whores. You just can't, bro. They will tell you they got no kids, they ain't married. They'll tell you that they on the pill, the shot, and all that. They don't use none of that shit. They want you to blow them up. That's why we as men have to think for ourselves, use a condom, and y'all know how I get out on YouTube. Make them earn the sex. Y'all don't even hit it because of the opportunity or she look good. Let them earn that shit because you don't know if that condom break anything. You got 18 to 21 years of hell dealing with this baby mama Ted. Look at PJ Washington, for example. He dealt with an older woman. You know what I'm saying? You know what he saw. He saw how it go.
That ass though, right?
He saw that. So he married her, he get whipped, he married her, and then, far as I'm concerned, it was a
oopsie.
So he thinks shit is good, and guess what? 2 weeks after she gave birth, she set him up for divorce, and now he got to pay $200,000 a month in child support. Yeah. That's why I say, men, we got to change the laws in our mind. Just because she light-skinned, long hair, mixed, that ass though, and maybe her mouth good and everything else, now you got to, and then now he ain't seen his son yet. He's on Twitter every day, all day, talking about he missed his son. He can't wait to see his son. He wished to see his son and all that shit. He's going through it. But I'm be honest with you, when it came, PJ say the child support $200,000 is not true. But what is true, you got finesse, use, and you knew what you was dealing with from the get-go. That right there is a fact. And because of you being a simp enforcer, being a sucker, what happened? Game over. Because you got to deal with that shit for 18 years. Even if he only paying $5,000 a month, you on child support from a motherfucker that obviously set you up for failure. And she took it and ran with it. She even said it. You knew what you was getting yourself into. She said that was her response. You want to play victim when you knew what it was. You can't make this shit up. These motherfuckers, these your queens, these your gods, these your Mother Earths and shit like that. So even if he only paying $1,000 a month, he got finesse. And it was obvious what she was on. She was dealing with Trey Songz. She was low-key dealing with Kaepernick, who did the knee because his career was fucked up and he needed to get some money. Now you ain't heard shit from him no more talking about fight the power and shit because he got paid by the NFL. Yeah, that Colin Kaepernick. She was dealing with him. She was dealing with Trey Songz. She was dealing with some other ball player. They been somebody. Yeah, bitch was around the way hoe. And then you turn around, you get pussy whooped, and now you married her. You blew up. And then 2 weeks after she gave birth, she went on about her business. She just walked on by like Ozzie Haynes and shit. So now it's no sunshine.
Ain't no sunshine anytime.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, good luck. Hey, man, Raven, I'm going to post it what you said, bro. They don't give a fuck about her hanging with porn stars and OnlyFans and shit like that. Yes, we know. Look at all these other whores that got custody of our kids that's on welfare, ain't got no money, live with their mama, live with their grandmama, live in a basement, live in a shelter. The father got his own career. He got his own livelihood. He got a foundation. He got a family. He got other kids and everything else. And they will not give him the child because he makes so much amount of money. She don't make shit. She ain't worth a damn. And then guess what? The baby would just be with her with a bunch of other porn stars. They don't give a flying fuck. They don't. I guarantee you they don't. But I don't think he have a solid chance. I'm gonna be honest with you. And he do have a father in his life. He didn't come from single motherism, for what I know. His father's actually his financial advisor. But guess what? His father taught him real well in financial. The money he make, he taught him to only use 20%. Use that 20% of what you make to spend, to live on your livelihood, right? But now he got to add another 25% of that 20 for child support. Now, hopefully he could use it out as 20%, but I doubt it. So that chunk will be a little bigger. That means he's going to have to spend about 40 to 50% of his income now, and the other 50 got to be put up. Hopefully she don't get no more of that. See, I did a pre-recording on that. It will be out soon. He fucked up. And now, what's worse, not only that he going to pay all this money, even like I said, again, it could be just $5,000. This could have been avoided. His father didn't teach him that. He taught the financial, but he didn't tell him about these groupie ass whores. Why? Because she got money at home? Because she got money. She's not broke. She makes $50,000 an Instagram post. She got money. She got money. She's not broke. So you're not dealing with, I told y'all, you're not dealing with somebody that's on welfare and link cars and shit like that. She's a red bone, you know, that ass though, long hair, got her own hair and shit. And she still finessed them. So just because these baby mama Teds have money, I told you the worst baby mama Ted is the one who makes six figures, the one who got a profession, the one who got degrees, the one who got license, the one who got shine. Them are the worst ones because they got a shield to hide behind to play guilty, mother, and play victim and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? A ghetto ratchet can't play victim for so long, only for so long. These motherfuckers can play that shit forever. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. His father didn't teach him about the group. He taught him about the finances and how to spend money, how to not spend all his money and fuck up. But he didn't tell him to watch out for these baby mama Ted's whores. So his father failed him. His father failed him. He taught him the money, but he didn't teach him on these baby mama Ted's whores. This is why I tell y'all it's very important that we teach our youth, white, black, blue, or green. We teach our godsons or whoever. Somebody want to learn, you need to tell them. That's what I'm telling y'all. It's too late for me. It's a wrap. My shit is a lost cause. My shit is a sacrifice for the better good for y'all. You know what I mean? I wash my hands more. I don't give a fuck. My veins, cause it's a wrap. They've been telling the course that, oh, he got fuck child support page and a fuck child support YouTube.
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch.
What the fuck you gonna do about it? What? Oh, well, you don't see him like this now, so we gonna make it official. I mean, what the fuck that? My veins cold, man. Shit, me and Sub-Zero could be brothers now. Shit, that's how I am. I don't give a fuck. So that's what I'm saying. We have to definitely keep them veins cold because all this shit is going on is a hurtful thing. It's fucked up for PJ Washington, but he put it on that situation. He put himself in that one. This is why it's important to recognize who you're dealing with, know their background, who they used to deal with, how their mommy is, their daddy is, if they got one, what they believe in, asking them tough ass questions. Do you believe in child support? Do you support feminism? What you think about Black Lives Matter? And all this bullshit. And when you get them answers or get them funny ass looks, leave them alone. Leave them alone. Leave them the fuck alone. You know what I'm saying? Leave them motherfuckers alone. But yeah, I ain't gonna hold y'all no longer, man. It was a good dialogue with Kash Jackson. Y'all saw the one with Chris Cole. Hopefully I get Ted Bush on here very soon and other brothers on here that's been in the trenches longer than me. You know what I mean? Who put me on game when it came to the reality of this system when it comes to all men of color. You know what I mean? Reverend Knight, yeah, pump it up. I see there's been some sideline hating going on since the video came out, and they ain't been talking about me yet. They've been mostly talking about Ramil. You know what I'm saying? But hey, I'm good. It don't make me a difference because I know they look and see if I got a arrest record. What I've been to jail for, I don't have one. So they can look all they want. And even if they make a one, I told y'all how I feel. I don't give a fuck because I'm going to keep doing what I do regardless. It doesn't matter to me. So, what I say, what my man say, let him say it.
Truth is what it is.
Because when it's all said and done, I'm just telling the truth. As far as the video is just entertainment, fun, and shit like that. You know me, I don't recommend y'all do a pump or dump. I recommend y'all to don't even have sex just because it's opportunity. She got money, she look good. I tell y'all, man, shit, let her earn it. That's my thing. So, but when you do good and you grow, that's when the hate come anyway, especially your own kind at that. You ain't got to worry about the white man when it comes to your blackness being successful. Just learn from that. You know what I'm saying? Raven Knight says, great show. I learned some facts today. Again, thank you, Mr. Palmer and Cash Jack. Salute you, my brother. You know what I'm saying? Black man going their own way. Pan African says she a strong black woman making her own moves. She making her own moves, but I think she mixed. I think her father's black and her mother's white, or vice versa. She making her own moves, but she still saw opportunity to get more money. She don't have to make no moves now. She don't have to make no moves now if she choose not to. You can't make that shit up, man. Shit. I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, my ex-baby mama Tez was an activist for child support unit. Oh, for child support until 2 years ago when our 24-year-old son got put on child support for his 2 daughters. Now she's super sick and distraught. Ain't so funny now. And you know what? No disrespect to the son, but good for a motherfucking ass. See, you sit back and alienate the father out the picture because you hate him, but then now your kid is going through the same bullshit. Now you want to holler, wars me, this ain't right. God is good and all this sanctified shit. The fuck out of here. I don't feel sorry for a funky ass shit. Hope she jump out the window. Shit, fuck her. I don't feel sorry for her. I wouldn't text call. I wouldn't send a motherfucking telegram. Shit. It is what it is. Just like you say, that's what child support for. Man, supposed to take care of their kids. That's how I look at it. Keep them veins on ice. It's funny. And it's funny when that happens, though. Now, all of a sudden, they want to fight the power of father's rights when their son go through this shit. But you raise your son to be a Caper Sim sucker, to be in that type of situation like PJ Washington. Y'all mold him to be in that type of situation. Now you want to holler, it's not right. Life is good. Life is bad and all this shit. Woe is me. I told you then they play victim. But when you say, can I see my son? They tell you go fuck yourself. No, so fuck her. Congratulations. That's how I look at it. But like I say, man, this was a good dialogue. And this page is going to steady grow. But I'm going to let my man usually come back here if I get back on this couch. You know what I do for a living. What's going on, bro?
I just want to say something real quick, man. You know, I like the brother. I mean, the person you brought it today, man, he had a great story, and it really speaks to like holier than thou type people that say, "Oh, that's because you didn't get married, and that's your punishment as child support because you didn't get married." You know, and it's like, okay, y'all really don't know the situation. You got this person, he was married, did everything right. But then the holier than thou crowd. You know, they like to say, "Oh, you shouldn't have did that." Well, you can do things the 100% right way and still get done dirty, bro. So it don't really matter. These holier than thou. It don't matter.
I be trying to tell people, married men get screwed more than the unwedded men who have kids out of wedlock. You dumb motherfuckers. Only you get treated worse because now you might have to pay alimony. It's worse. That's why men ain't getting married now. White men going overseas faster than the black man, to be honest with you. Shit, I talked to a couple of white brothers over there in Vietnam and over in Asia somewhere. I be talking on Facebook, man. They ain't never come back. They said fuck child support and fuck the baby mama Taz and moved on about his business and married an Asian. Hey, y'all not the only one, like man, y'all not the only one getting the passports. Y'all everything that we doing after the fact. Believe me. You don't hear white men talk about it, but they doing it. They've been fighting father's rights. They've been flying overseas, marrying outside their race. They've been having less kids. They're not having kids. They're not dealing with American women. They living a phrase and lifestyle. They over the Coach Greg Allen's platform doing that shit. It's been going on, man. We laid on every fucking thing. So when they talk that bullshit about we ain't we just whine and crying all that shit, whatever the fuck you say, fam. Don't entertain that bullshit. Y'all know I ain't lying, bro. My Hispanic brothers, my Latino brother, y'all know I ain't lying. You know I'm keeping it real. Y'all talk. I mean, them Al Senoritas ain't shit either. They ain't. You know. Again, I'm gonna let y'all know. Once again, what society and government daddy taught y'all, and your mama, your baby mama Ted's mama, and your baby mama Ted's grandmother, they taught you. But
you've been had. Yeah. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok.
Yeah, so keep your veins cold, change the laws of your mind, and if need be, wash your hands and move on. Take heed to what y'all heard from Kash Jackson, because he ain't the only one that did it the right way, served his country, married a woman, had kids, and did all that shit. He got fucked over and shit, man. Shit, Perfect Blackness been on here for years fucking with me, man, and he did it the right way, leading his house, and he ended up not getting custody of his daughter, and he's going through the bullshit, 5 false ass sexual allegations and shit like that. They thrown out and still didn't give him custody. Like I say, man, that's why I keep doing what I do, because y'all gonna know, even if y'all don't like it or you can't handle the truth, I get it, but it is what it is.
You can't handle the truth.
But you're gonna know what it is, whether you support it or not. So the ones that like it and understand, they're gonna roll. The ones that don't like it, you're gonna understand, but you don't roll. Just go on about your business. We have to separate ourselves from these baby mama tears and these simple forces. You know what I'm saying? Shit. Mike said, what is this depopulation? What it is I'm talking about is less birth rates going on in the European countries, because men don't want to be put on child support. Men don't want to be paying alimony, get married. It's less marriage. It's more men living a free agent lifestyle. It's more men as childless and unmarried. You know, especially black men. They've been telling about we've been having kids out of wedlock for so many years, and 51% of men now ain't having kids or getting married in the black community. Black men. You know, these baby mama tears choose single mother. That's why 80% of them motherfuckers, or 85% of them single mothers, because they choose it. That's what they want. So keeping the father out the picture. That's what I mean by the population is going down. So people going overseas somewhere and building a wife, getting a wife over there somewhere that don't deal with child support. You know what I mean? Larry say, I was married, been single for 4 years now since divorce. Don't trust any of them. I ain't mad at them. Shit. In China, they don't date women with other men's kids. I can't get mad at you. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man. Yeah, shout out to Coach Greg Adams, man. It's too late for me to do a free agent lifestyle, but it's not too late for y'all. It's not. But if I was to get divorced, I'd be goddamn. I would never get married again. It's a wrap. And everything cool, everything fine, no issues. I'm just saying, if I was to get divorced, I'm not getting married 2, 3, 4, 5 times and shit. I'm not even getting married twice. I'm not even having no more kids. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. I ain't going. No. Mike said you almost married a Chinese girl. As long as she ain't from America and she ain't Americanized, you go off the tradition. You should be living like a king. Shit. How many of them going to hell? Ain't no room for them devil son-in-laws. But I ain't gonna hold y'all up, man. I'm gonna go ahead and get off here. I gotta go ahead and get back on the couch and run for my child support. Y'all know what I do for a living. Yeah, I ain't marrying no bitch to get no citizenship, because she'll turn around and be feminism and Americanized and divorce your ass and get child support from you. I'm not marrying no bitch to come over here. I'll marry you over there. Now I'll go back and forth. You know what I'm saying? I bring the bacon from different country to country. Shit. That's how that's gonna go. Because you already know they come over here, they know it's the land of the free. They do what they want to do. Their family don't run shit. Their cultures is out of whack over here. Oh no. Nah. You be shopping at suckers. Go back and forth. Leave her over there and you come back and forth. Get you a double visa. That's what I do. I'm not, you do not bring none of them foreign motherfuckers over here. Hell no. You leave them over there, you go back and forth. Shit. If you marry them, go back and forth. Keep your family over there. Bring your son over here. For real. Shout out to Mike though. Land of the BMT, home of the Simps. You ain't never lied. But yeah, bro. I will be going live tomorrow. 1 o'clock Central Standard Time. For people that's on Facebook, definitely come on over to the YouTube. Like I say, truth is what it is. I can't be on Facebook like I used to, because they shut the page down and 30-day bans. You heard Kash, he banned 30 days again, and he don't talk like I do, and he still get banned. I can't deal with that no more. You know what I mean? Yeah, Larry, don't bring Sandra to the beach. Yeah, keep them 4 motherfuckers over there. Don't bring them over here unless you visiting. You doing a quick flight. Y'all coming back? Shit. You see what I'm saying? It's a lot of white cats going Asian, a lot of black dudes going Asian, Latino, everything else. Any the Dominican, everything, anything but European and American. I tell you that. Shit, man. Bro, like I said, I've been married for a couple of years, man. It benefited me for what I had going on, everything. You know what I mean? But I could just say 1 in a million. I'll tell you, even when I talked to Coach about it, he was like, we'll see in 10 years. So only thing I can say, I'll see in 10 years. That's when you really know. So yeah, in this day and age, why would y'all even bother? You know what I mean? My situation is totally different, but I wouldn't tell y'all stupid for not getting married. I tell y'all, you got a lot to lose. Why even chance it? You know what I'm saying? Shit. Tone Alexander said, I'm in Dallas. These judges are Mexican. Mexican thinking that they have to whiten up to be successful. They think white is right or get in trouble, deported. As any Mexican about Cesar Chavez, I know who that is, and his fight to equality, and watch how dumbfounded they are. Ain't not one nigga or any ethnic person did some fuck shit towards Mexican nationals, but why are they racist against everybody who ain't white? Let it sink in. I don't know, bro. It is what it is. I don't know. But I appreciate y'all. Yisrael, man, appreciate you coming in as always, brother. I'm going to go ahead and shut this shit down, fam. I'll be on at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock your time, though, bro, Eastern. Appreciate you to the fullest. Yeah, you know, we all segregated when it comes to all this shit that America and government daddy have done. That's why we got hate with each other. That's why you got systematic racism. That's why you got gender bias. That's why the alphabet community runs it now. That's why you got these feminists that's running it now. These fake-ass ghetto black queen that's running it now. You know what I mean? It's because government daddy allows it. It's some money. As long as we separate it, segregate it, and we ain't come together, they always gonna make this money and get this power until you stay in office. That's why I say we as men have to change the laws in our mind, and we have to build a brotherhood and get our power back. Because as long as we got this bullshit running this, we're always gonna be low to the totem pole. Black, white, blue, or green don't make a difference. So, like I said, yeah, it's a business. Everything's business. Everything, I really do believe in due time they're gonna have a real purge, like we've seen in the movies. I think they're gonna have a real purge in due time. We might be 20 years from now, might be when we all gone. There's a whole nother generation, but it's gonna be some shit that they're gonna continue to allow. As long as it's a benefit, it's a business. So yeah, I'm not gonna hold y'all no longer. I appreciate y'all tuning in from Facebook and YouTube. Please share the Facebook. Please share the YouTube. Please like y'all from Facebook. Please come over, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? The more the merrier, just like I did over there. You know what I mean? Shout out to Kash Jackson, Ted Bush, Chris Cole, and everybody else. I'm Mr. Palmer, and this conversation is over. Fuck child support. Peace.
Baby mama terrorist. BMT. It's my baby mama. I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in coke. It's my baby mama. She be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies, and doing setups. It's my baby mama. I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in coke. It's my baby mama. She be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies, and doing setups. It's my baby mama. I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in coke. It's my baby mama. She be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies, and doing setups. It's my baby mama. I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in coke. It's my baby mama. She be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies, and doing setups.
Riding around, try to play the role as innocent with an evil soul. In public, wearing fake halos. Behind closed doors, she rocked them horns. I moved on, she wanna teach me a lesson. Can't see my kids, man, I'm stressing. Couldn't see my son to give me his present. She got married to teach me a lesson. Telling people she did nothing wrong. Knowing that well since I moved on. Thought that money would keep me home. Hell no, bitch, I'm gone. I don't know what you lost your mind. Try to say my name, but I know your kind. Saying I'm a deadbeat, bitch, you lying. Fighting in court, man, I'm trying to be a father to my kids. She focus on the wrong shit, worrying about another being instead of us co-parenting. Put my kids in grown folks' business, telling them lies, bitch, you wicked. Split personality, oh yeah, you twisted. Never thought I'd go through this.
It's my baby mama. I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in coat. It's my baby mama, she be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies and doing setups. It's my baby mama, I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in coat. It's my baby mama, she be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies and doing setups. It's my baby mama, I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in coat. It's my baby mama, she be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies and doing setups. It's my baby mama, I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in coat. It's my baby mama, she be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies and doing setups.
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch. I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch.
Truth is what it is.